So as you step into your lessons coming easier, and you step into willingness, and you step into transformation, what happens within that is that you step into your true authenticity. As you step into your authenticity, you then create a vortex. And that's the only way that I can describe it to you. And as you step into your vortex, you get closer to joy and to happiness. The more joy and happiness that you can bring into your life, the bigger the vortex then starts to spin, and the more powerful that it spins within your life to be able to make that kind of transformation that you're looking for. So I came from, I like to say that I came from absolutely poor white trash. And I lived in a trailer with my grandmother. My mother died when I was 2, and I was stuck in my story of what that part of the family looked like. I had one side of the family that was very, very successful, and then another side of the family that was not successful. And that side of the family that was not successful was heaped in misery, heaped in physical illness, and heaped in stinking thinking. And I can remember being about 4 years old thinking to myself, I was surrounded by crazy people. I had no idea why I was where I was at. I had no idea why the family that I was surrounded by didn't understand me. I certainly at 4 couldn't understand why my mother had been taken from me at such a young age. But what I did know was that somehow I was cut from a different fabric, and that fabric was one of survival. So as I started my young age, I want you to know I left home at 16. I was told by all of my relatives that I was making a terrible mistake. I want you to know it wasn't a mistake for me to leave. And as I left, I then began to study and to understand more about life, again, outside of my surroundings that I was in. One of the things that I believe at a deep, deep core level is that we are spiritual beings having a human existence. And if we are spiritual having a human existence, then what I need to know is that there's a scripture, Romans 12:1 and 2, that says that by the transforming and renewing of your mind, you will know the perfect will of God. Now that's a really powerful statement if you think about it. The transforming and renewing of your mind. And the very interesting thing is that when we get into that, practicing that mindfulness, and we actually accept that we can transform and renew our minds, things start to happen. So I had spent years trying to figure out how to meditate, how to do a variety of different kinds of meditation practices, and it didn't come to me until I was trained in dialectical behavioral therapy. So as a skills trainer of DBT, in mindfulness, there's the what skills and the how skills. The what skills of dialectical behavioral therapy help you understand about observation and actually be able to, again, to watch your own thinking. As you watch your own thinking, what happens is that you're able to make choice. And the way that we know that is our thoughts plus our emotion equal our behavior. 100% of the time. It's actually a scientific formula. So if you want to change an action, and it doesn't matter what that action is, it doesn't matter if it's an addiction, it doesn't matter if it's picking up your clothes, it doesn't matter if it's about doing laundries on Monday, it doesn't matter what the action is. If you want to change your action, you either have to change your thought process about the action, or you have to change your emotional response to doing or having or being that particular action. That's it. We like to try to fancy it up in a variety of different ways, but it's either your thoughts or your emotions that are going to be able to make the change. So as I become mindful, I'm then able to start to think about what I want to change. And I do that because I'm using that gray matter behind my eyebrows called my prefrontal cortex. Your prefrontal cortex, best explained, is your insight, your hindsight, and your foresight. So it's the ability to look at my mistakes, it's the ability to stay in the present, and that's the ability to anticipate what's going to happen in the future. So what happens is when I get locked into my particular story about life, it means that I'm rehearsing everything about my past if I'm locked into it.